Hey guys, I'm Elliott. This is Everything Elliott. We're in the shop tonight. It is Christmas Eve and I am a professional procrastinator. That right there is my son's Christmas gift. This needs to be under the tree in the morning. It is 7:23 p.m. and we're gonna finish this thing up tonight. Now we don't have much left to do. Realistically, all I have left to do is build the bucket. It's got no bucket on it. Attach the seat. I've got the seat right here, just a block of wood. That's gonna be pretty simple. And paint it. And a couple other minor things, but that's the most part of it. So what we're gonna do for starters is we're gonna build the bucket. Now I'm just going to explain this because I'm gonna put it in a time lapse because I am under the gun here. I don't have time to monkey around with cameras. I'm making it out of 12 gauge. Actually, I might have some 10 gauge. Hold on, let me look here. This is 12. I got 12 gauge. What's this? That's 12 gauge too. We'll just use this stuff here. 12 gauge. We're gonna make a bucket. It's gonna be squared. I don't have a CNC plasma to make a nice rounded bucket as well as bending it, and I don't have the roller, so it's just gonna be a squared bucket, and that's fine. Gonna cut out the top, angle down, flat, angle back, flat, and then obviously square. That's the side, and then a bunch of individual panels for the actual bucket. I apologize, the heater is running. It's chilly outside, but we're gonna get to it. Bucket first. Seat mount's also gonna be easy. Piece of that 12 gauge just on top here, and then we're gonna screw from the underside into the wood. All right, so we officially have all the fabrication done. I put the bucket together. Not bad for a homegrown bucket right there. And what else did I do? Weld the seat mount on. So I put 4 holes in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll just throw some wood screws through the bottom of that into the seat there. And we're about ready to throw some paint on this thing. I think I actually might shorten these up a little bit. I'm not loving how long they are, because if he's at an angle, you know, like this, he's gonna hit it right away. So I think I'm gonna shorten those up maybe 8 inches, take it down 8 inches, and I'm gonna start disassembling this thing. I'm just gonna use the Evolution saw to cut these. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and then I'm gonna disassemble everything, and we're gonna wipe it down and put some primer on it. I am going to paint it in my shop I'm hoping to get at least one coat of yellow on it tonight. I'd like to give it to them in the morning, obviously for Christmas, and it's not gonna look great if it's primer gray. So we'll get one coat of yellow on it, and then, you know, in the next couple days I could put a couple more coats on it. But just to make it look like an excavator, I'd like to get a little yellow on it. All right, we got everything hung up, ready to be sprayed. This is my favorite method of holding things to spray. We're gonna move the evolution saw and we're gonna wet the floor. That way, any overspray that gets on the floor won't actually stick to it, it'll just hit the water. So I'll move the saw, we'll wet the floor, and we'll get to spraying. Primer first, everything's wiped down, ready to rock and roll, and hopefully my hose isn't frozen. All right. I'll pretty much do this in between every coat. It's just a guaranteed way to not get overspray on your floor. And if you're wondering, it is 10:40 p.m. So Santa Claus is probably on the roof right now dropping off presents. But don't forget, this is from me. Couldn't get Santa Claus to make one of these for me, apparently. So we're just using the old classic Ace Hardware primer, and we're gonna spray this thing down, I guess. All right, that is the first coat of primer done. Doesn't look too bad. I'm definitely gonna put a second coat of primer on there. That is a thick primer, but I just wanna ensure I have full coverage. And if you're wondering about these holes, I originally said I was gonna fill them with, you know, sheet metal and just cap them, and then I changed my mind and said I would get some of those little clip things, plugs. So I got a bunch of the plugs. That's what's gonna go in the end of all that square tube. I think it's gonna give it a nice fit and finish, I guess, if you will. Yeah, I'm gonna let this thing dry. I'm gonna have a beer. So by the time I'm done with the beer, hopefully this is dry enough to put a second coat of primer on it, and then we can jump into some color. All right, 2 coats of primer is done, and we've got the old Ace John Deere yellow. That's what we're gonna be using. We're gonna lay down some color. I'm gonna do everything yellow, and then I'm gonna take everything off except the stick here. I'm gonna tape the actual stick, and then I've got black for the bucket. So we'll do that last. It's adding another step. It's gonna make me stay up longer, but I think it'll add a nice touch. I think it'll look really nice. So let's lay on some color. See how that looks. Wow, that's yellow. This paint is like super dripping. Super dripping. Yeah, what the heck? Oh. Look at this thing. And it's Christmas Eve, so I can't even get any paint from anywhere, and we just got some massive drips out of the can. We're gonna forge on though, we're gonna do our best. I was very happy with the primer. I am not as happy with the color. You can see it just dripped all over it again. This is terrible. Ace Hardware, do better. I mean, it's just like, look at it leaking. It's everywhere. Well, I'm gonna go wash my hands off, and then I'll show you my floor where all the drips were. This top is just like off and leaking. This is not ideal. Look at all those yellow drips. That's exactly why I put water on the floor, because then you could just go like this. Now, get most of it off at least. Looks like we're gonna have some paint on the floor. That's all right. Those are the sacrifices you make for your son. All right, I'm gonna drink another beer and we're gonna wait for this to dry. That's just the first coat. So I'm gonna slap a second coat on it off camera. Obviously you can see it's not fully covered, but that's okay for the first coat of color. And I don't even know if you can really hear me because I don't have my mic on. Yeah, I'm gonna get another coat of color on it and then let that dry. We'll tape up the bucket, do the bucket black. Hopefully the black works better than the yellow. And we'll start assembling it. And it is 11:07 p.m. It's gonna be one of those nights where I don't get a lot of sleep, but that's okay. Not a big deal. I've had plenty of those in my life. All right, do I love the paint on it? No, I hate the paint on it. But that's the hand we were dealt. All right, I'm in a mad dash for time here. I want to go to bed. Like I said, I don't love the paint job, but it is what it is at this point. We were dealt a bad hand with that can. I already threw it out. I can always repaint this if I need to. I bought these nylon washers. I don't think I'm going to use them just yet, but I've got all new hardware with locking nuts. These are going to be very important because you don't want to tighten this down all the way that he can't move it. The locking nuts will hold it in place. So we're going to start putting this thing together. All right, there you have it. Terrible paint job and all. I am not happy with that, but if it was not Christmas Eve and this did not need to be given to my son in the morning, I would scrap this entire paint job and we would do it again. But I will repaint it, and that's the reason I'm not gonna put any of those caps in. And I'm not gonna bother with that because I'm gonna have to repaint it anyway. He's 2 years old. He's not gonna know the difference if it's painted well or not. He's just gonna be tickled that he has it. So let's put this thing on the ground and check it out. I'm gonna go prep the area over there because that's where I'm gonna put it for Christmas morning. I'm just gonna clean this area up a little bit and open the door and he can see it. Oh yeah, that's a nice presentation there. All right, so I built this thing and you can see that I put this seat back. He'll be able to sit on the edge here and he'll be able to reach these just fine, but I wanted to make sure it was back far enough that when he grows up a little bit, he'll be able to move back in the seat. And I also built it heavy enough that I should be able to use it. Oh, we gotta loosen some of these up. Oh yeah, that's way better. It spins. Oh yeah, he's gonna be doing some digging with this thing. And I'm glad I cut that 8 inches. I don't know if you could see it. I cut the 8 inches off, and now the bucket can't hit the legs. So he's gonna be absolutely tickled. Even though I'm not happy with it, I'm not very happy with it at all. I mean, I'm happy with the fabrication, I'm not happy with the paint. But like I said, that's the hand we were dealt. I'm probably gonna build another one of these, probably 2 more. I got 2 nephews that are coming over for Christmas tomorrow, and I know when their mom sees this thing, they're gonna want at least one. Probably want one for each kid. So version 2.0 will probably be a lot better, but I'm pretty happy with it. What do you guys think? Better than the, I don't know what Amazon version. Well, that's gonna be it. If I build version 2.0, which I assume I will be if I know my sister-in-law, I'll do a better description video, kind of like, these are all the cuts, this is that, this is that. I did a lot of figuring out in this video, and things were just kind of, we were winging it, and I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. So make sure you guys are subscribed so you don't miss that version 2.0, and thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Merry Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas. Happy holidays.